Well, I'm excited about the win. Proud of our team. I thought that was one of our better basketball games. And I think we saw some growth from our team, both offensively and defensively. And I think we can continue to build on games like this. And I'm a coach. I'm never going to be satisfied. I can pick it apart all day long, but I am pleased with some strides that we're making right now.
Questions from Coach Dan?
I think I remember talking to you when you first came here and you started working with this team, and you were saying, well, we need to work on our passing. That's one thing. When you look at you now, you're averaging 20 assists a day. You're leading the league in assists. How happy are you with the progress you're seeing there in terms of how they share the ball and this aspect of the offense?
Yeah, I think we do a really good job of sharing the ball. They just don't play selfishly. You know, they're constantly looking for their teammates. I think one thing that has helped us in that with that statistic is our spacing. I think our offensive execution has been better, so spacing has allowed for more opportunities to penetrate and kick, dish, being aggressive offensively in transition. We find some ways to get some assists. So I think we've seen a lot of progress there.
Yeah.
Georgia scored 20 points in the first quarter, 9 in the second quarter. What was the difference there, and what was your message to the team in between quarters?
Well, I felt they were open a lot in that first quarter, and they got open and knocked down shots. I thought they were open because we were running into screens. I thought our defense was maybe a step behind in several possessions in the first quarter, which allowed them to get open. And I thought we cleaned that up in the second quarter and did a much better job executing our defense.
David, back left.
Hey, Coach, from your vantage point, what did you see when it came to the turnovers and the 25 points Georgia got off of those turnovers?
Well, there's a variety. Most of our turnovers are just careless mistakes, and those are the ones that we need to clean up. Where, you know, we're trying to make something happen that's not there, and I think, you know, we're going to continue to work on it. We've been working on it. We'll continue to work on it. You know, we show it on film. We talk about it in practice, and you know, that'll be an area that we can make a big stride forward if we can get that cleaned up.
Jordan.
Kelly, you've talked in the past about how you like how aggressive Ray Burrell plays, but in the past it kind of seemed almost like an uncontrolled aggression that she plays with on the court. Lately, it's kind of seemed like she's kind of honed that in a little bit. Is that something that you've talked to her about, and kind of what are you seeing in that?
Yeah, we've been talking to Ray about playing more under control. And there's a fine line there for her because she is so aggressive. She plays downhill, and it's so good for us. Her aggression is so good for us. So I don't want her to lose that. But I think there have been times in the past where maybe when we get going, her decision-making hasn't been the best. And I think she's really improved on that. One thing I will say, I think it was in the second half, at some point in the second half, and I put her in and I said, you have to get us some offensive boards. We've got to get you back on boards. And she did. And I was so proud. I couldn't have been happier that she was getting in there and being extremely coachable and making plays for us.
Caleb and then Dan.
Coach, 8 of 12 threes is not only really good, it's really efficient. What can you say about Jerrell's efficiency shooting out there, how well you shot it, and when's the last time you can remember one of your teams shooting 67%?
Well, I'm not sure, actually. I'm sure there's some stat folks in here. This is the room for all the stat people, right? You guys can probably find that one for me. Look, when you make shots, you're really good. And I think for us especially, we make shots. We're a really good team. And, you know, we just took open shots. I thought we did a really nice job of finding an open person. I think if there was anybody that took any contested, it might have been Renee a little bit, but she's capable of that. You know, we took open shots. We found people and knocked them down. The players been getting in the gym, getting a lot of shots up as they've been doing all year, so hopefully it's paying off.
Yeah, it looks like offense is really evolving into a strength for this team. How much confidence do you think this group is drawing from what goes on that end of the floor?
Right. I think right now, they are playing with confidence, and I think from my perspective, the way I see it, I think they understand the big picture. right now. I think they understand what needs to happen offensively, and the calls that both Jordan and Jasmine are making out on the court make sense, and what they're looking for makes sense, and I think they've had a really good understanding of what we need to do to score. And it's taken some time, obviously. It's taken some rough games and some rough practices to get there, but I think we're finally clicking offensively, and we can kind of see that growth. We've seen that growth. We're there every day in practice, and I think in some of our games you can start seeing it really come to life. And right now I think they feel really good offensively.
Kellie, it seems like over the course of the season you've been able to develop like a level of cohesiveness between the players in this team. Was there something you did to maybe make that happen, or did the players themselves, did they just mesh, the pieces just seem to mesh together?
Well, I think it's definitely both. I think our players are very bought in and want to win. I think that's first. Everything we do is intentional, everything. And we are always striving for great team chemistry. We're always trying to put our players in position to be successful. Again, every decision that we make, there's a purpose behind it. And I think we have to continue to do that. We have to continue to push these players, both with their skill level, both with their effort, also with how they're being teammates. I think you constantly need to work on that.
Will, Maria, and David.
Tamari Key's had 4 more blocks in each of the past 3 games. Are you impressed with how she's played defensively, or is she kind of living up to the expectations that you had for her?
Well, I think she's played really well. I think she has. I think she affects people, right? With her contest, she affects people. Her being on the court, even when she's a step behind, she makes a difference when she's out there. And so, been really proud of her. She feels pretty good about what she's doing. The thing that I've been proud of, we've been playing her longer stretches because we've needed her in the game, and she's been able to produce, and so that's exciting to see.
Maria, and then David and Caleb.
Coach, things got a little bit loose, and you had to get Jasmine back out there on the perimeter. You said she kind of calms the team down, but she also hit a couple 3-pointers, 8 points, leading rebounder tonight. Just is that kind of the bigger picture you want from her too?
It's very funny that you say that, because yesterday in practice she hit a couple threes, and I thought, man, Jasmine's really shooting the ball well right now, and carried over. So that was good to see. I think Jasmine at the end of the game was in there for poise to keep everybody settled down and making sure we're making good decisions, milking that clock down at the end of the game. So I think physically, I think she ought to be able to be a really good rebounder for us, regardless of her position, right? She's a point guard that should be able to rebound, so it's good to see.
David.
How much do you see Zay being out there benefit your team, and what's an update on the progress right now?
Well, today was the first day that she got to step in and shoot free throws with the team. She's working at it. I think we're still working on her rehab and really trying to push her. And again, I've always said this. I'll continue to say it. Anytime anyone has that kind of injury, it's hard. It is hard to stay engaged with the team. We're out here working on press offense, and she's over there doing leg lifts. You just don't feel a part of the team. And I think right now, when she's on the bench, her voice is heard. I think she steps in, and when she's encouraging her team in practice, I think it matters. I think she still has a voice that they hear and that they listen to. And man, she's competitive. She wants to win. She wants this team to win, regardless if she's doing rehab or scoring points.
Caleb.
I was actually going to ask about Zay too, but just as a follow-up, what is it like for you as a coach to see a player who's injured and can't be out there, but a lot of times she was the first one out of timeouts to go and fire everybody up.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, and I understand what she's going through. I understand how hard it is, and so because of that, I think I appreciate it even more. And I think her teammates need her. I think she sees that, and players want to play. Players want to be out there and play, but if she can find a role that helps this team, I think she's willing to do it.
Have you talked to her about when you went through the same thing?
I have. When she Not recently. We talked about it back when she sustained the injury and after her surgery, and we talked about things. And I've complimented her on staying engaged because I think, like I said, it's hard.
With the team chemistry aspect, did it take long for this team to gel, or was it a pretty quick process?
We're still working on it, right? I mean, I still think we work on this daily, and team chemistry doesn't just happen. You don't just flip a switch and all of a sudden it all works smooth. Let's face it, it's 18 to 24-year-olds in there, women, and it's not always easy. So you have to work at it, and I think the biggest thing is what's your commonality here, and because we're all so very different, but we all want to win. We all want to win. We all want this program to succeed, and when you have that, you got something to fall back on. So I like where we're at right now, but we will continue to work on it on a daily basis.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys for coming.